We focus test constantly. It's a great bar for us. I mean, we've got the game in front of our face every single day, and it's really hard to look at it for the first time when you're like that. So every game we make here, we focus test from the get-go. Even before we have anything playable, we stick it in front of people to get their feedback.
We hear a lot about game industry focus groups, where publishers and developers bring in people off the street to get feedback on whatever it is they're working on. Typically, companies keep these behind closed doors, since they can't control what the public might say. But during a recent trip to EA Vancouver, the NBA Jam team let our cameras in so we could talk to them about the process and see what happens when they hand over the controls.
This game wasn't one of those things that was just greenlit from day one. It was really, we just kept trudging along for milestone to milestone along the way, and each time we'd present what we got and say, can we keep going? And Stickman was the playable prototype part of the process. So, it didn't take us that long to put up because we weren't, worried about graphics and animations and all those crazy things. And then we shared with you the VTAR video, which stands for Visual Target. And it was just kind of, we branched off. So Stickman showed the gameplay. And then the VTAR video showed what it was going to look like. And you put the two together, and then you've got the game we were going to make.
So when you put like Stickman in front of the public, what's their reaction to that?
It depends. I can only imagine. I've never done a focus test on the other side before, but they don't know what game they're gonna check out. They have no idea what's gonna happen, what they're gonna see, and then they come in and they see a Stickman. I think it makes them laugh at first, which is great because that's what we're going for. But I think there's a disconnect. They're used to seeing a finished game, and a lot of the times it's hard to get that feedback when they see something in progress.
You got any particularly memorable stories from focus tests about somebody who broke your game or revealed a feature that you just didn't even know about?
That happens a lot. There's a good thing. We have them sign the NDA just in case. I mean, we're plugging secret characters in constantly, and inevitably somebody will stumble upon something and go, hey, and we're just like, whoa, yeah, keep that on the DL.
Is there classic controller support? Since,
as far as
that's what it showed in the options menu.
Yeah, I'm actually open for that.
That could be top secret, so shh, NDAs.
It's so important to this game that you just pick up a Wiimote and nunchuck and you can play right away. And that's something you have to focus test. You have to, because you can only get that first time somebody picks up a controller once.
When you see different people come in and you're dealing with a clean gesture to drive gameplay, and you get
Shaking
somebody holds it
nunchuck.
like this, somebody holds it like this, somebody wants to shoot a 3-point like this, somebody wants to shoot like this. That's
the nature of the beast with the Wii.
I'll tell you, we're totally letting the cat out of the bag here, but the head size.
Yeah,
it was brutal. I'll tell you, it was probably the biggest.
It's a lot of back and forth because you have this perception of NBA Jam as NBA Jam was a big head mode game. Oh, NBA Jam was no. When I played it, it had regular heads, so there was this preconception in people's minds of what Jam was. So we went back and forth with different focus groups, talking to them, what do you remember from Jam? I remember big head mode. I remember putting in a code for big head mode. I remember the most realistic characters I had ever seen. So we batted that one back and forth, put some stuff in front of people. Ultimately, in being true to Jam, it's an unlockable code. But that was a very interesting 3 to 4 weeks.
It was brutal. The big kicker was when we talked to Mark Termel, and he said the original arcade cabinets had a switch. That they were either default normal size heads or default big size heads. Getting that scale right was brutal. It was a long time coming, but yeah, we're really happy where we end up. This is the focus group room. This is Game Ops Central here, and every one of our games that we test, we bring people in off the street to come and check out our games and give us feedback and all that kind of stuff. This is a station where they're just going to sit and play and kind of check some stuff out. And then right here, this is the surveys that we asked for. Sometimes we're looking for specific information on things like controls or gameplay or difficulty in AI and that kind of thing. And we get that feedback, we take it back to the team, and we kind of decipher what we need to do to fix the game. So we're going behind the glass here. You come back here and you can kind of see, if you can take a peek. It gives us the chance to watch people playing our games without them seeing us. And a lot of times it's hard to get an honest feedback if they know the people that make the games are there listening. So that anonymous feedback is what we're looking for. has to be pick up and play, so they're playing right away, but it's not like they're not just plowing through them. It's still competitive, it's still fun, it's forcing them to figure stuff out, and the great thing is they're talking to each other, okay, when he does this, do this, or hey, next time you go, jump up and I'll give you an alley-oop, or shove that guy, or your guy shoots threes really good, shoot threes, shoot more threes, you need to do that. So, yeah, I mean, all intents and purposes, this is a successful focus group. We're doing good stuff.
Well, gentlemen, how was it? What'd you think?
I like jamming and I like pushing the guys.
Cloud ducking is pretty satisfying when you physically.
Yeah, when you actually do
yeah,
it. Yeah,
like
yeah.
You throw it down.
I was hoping to hear some of the old school comments, the old boom shakalaka.
Pop goes the weasel.
Yeah, pop goes the weasel.
How'd the AI feel? Was it a little bit aggressive, or did it seem okay?
It felt once like you get like a good streak going, like they would slow down once like if you weren't getting a hang of it at first, so like it seemed sort of evened out. But then once you got going, they would just like turn on and
Third
just
quarter, all of a sudden, just
I was gonna say something might be a little inappropriate.
On the subject of new versus old, talk to me about that. Talk to me about your old experience with the previous NBA Jam, the classic one, and then versus this one.
Secret characters.
Was that?
You need the
secret characters?
Bring back the Beastie Boys.
Any questions from the back of the room?
Art style. What did you guys think of the heads?
It totally reminded me of the America's Funniest Home videos where they put the faces on the host face on top of other people's bodies.
Not where that idea came from. Let's just do a buttons gesture controls question. How many of you guys prefer playing with gestures?
If given the option, would you probably play with buttons over motion?
Yeah, I'd probably pick up a classic controller once or twice.
Yeah. As a point of interest, just for my reference, who actually owns a classic controller here? Really? Interesting. It's actually higher than I thought it would be.
How many of you guys play Wii Online regularly?
I haven't really noticed enough support for it.
Played it in the last month.
Online?
What game?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart?
Brawl.
Brawl.
It's coming on the Xbox Live. That's where I want to see it.
That's a big.
I want to see it on there.
I have
Never heard that before. We'll have our people.
Yeah, have our people talk to other people.
We get a lot of shy teenagers coming in that are, sort of coming in sort of mousy, and they're gonna play this game, and halfway through the game as they're playing, they're just wide-eyed high-fiving, screaming. So it's cool to see that transformation that you can bring, in a social game, in that game where it's about people, being next to each other on the couch, being competitive, having fun, high-fiving it. You see it roll over really quickly, and that's a big rewarding part of the focus test.
Focus groups are great, and they absolutely help us make a better game, and I don't know of anybody that doesn't do it nowadays.